Hi, welcome back. So today we are going to discuss callback, right? So I think we have completed with regex and all, right? Completed with regex things and all. So basically like callback functions, okay? So callback functions generally it is like kind of let's suppose like two persons are there, right? Two persons. One is the like producer, one is the receiver. Okay? One is producer, one is the receiver. So now producer will give the order. Like let's suppose you will go to hotel. So what happens? As a customer, what you will do? You will just give order, right? To the main counter. Like you'll go to main counter and you'll tell them, okay, give me the bill and give the order. So like it's like you are interacting with that people, right? But after that, immediate after that, it's not like the counter person will go and give your order. They will go to kitchen, they'll prepare food and they'll give you order, right? That is not the case, right? So some people are there in between. So it's like something you are asking and to someone, but they are not doing the things. They are making other to do the things. And if everything will be done, then other middle person will come and give it to you, the response. Okay. Because why, what is the reason like you are keeping other person? Because it might take time. Like let's suppose you are going to a restaurant, you are ordering something. It might take time, right? It's not like you will go and you ask in a counter and they will give you, okay, take this. Not like that. It's not a chocolate or biscuit. No, it is like some time taken to prepare the order which you are asking for. And he can't go and prepare himself because if he will go, then who will handle the counter again? Okay, so that is the reason there is a middle person to do all this. So these things you understand, whenever any task which is not dependent on other thing or which is not having the time consuming, okay, which is not having the time consuming, that type of work can be immediately taken, immediately executed and immediately taken. So that is done. So generally in the technical term, like you have any declaring the variable, writing the console.log, or any like whatever till now we have studied, all are like synchronous, we can say. Synchronous means immediately coming, executing, immediate result. Okay, that is synchronous. Okay, so that is different case. Another is like some work will be there which cannot be done immediately, which might takes lots of time or some amount of time to complete that order or to complete that process. Okay, now let's suppose you are on the front side and you are asking server like give me the data of RAM or SAM. So it's not like direct. He's not keeping in the browser or somewhere in the front side, right? He has to go to backend side to the server. Then server has to talk to database. Then database will fetch from database. He will fetch the data, and then that data will come to the front end, and you will see. That is the reason you will see any like a website or any application. There will be the loader you have observed so many times. Why loader will be there? Loader will be there so that it's taking time to get the process done to fetch the data from the server. The loader will be keep on loading and giving you the information like, okay, wait for some time. Your things are coming. Whatever you have requested, that is still, it will take some time and it is coming. Okay. So that is one thing. So as I discussed, like, yeah, middle person should be there. Okay. So this middle person is nothing but it's a callback function. Okay, callback function. So let's discuss, and it is passed as argument because see, I am hiring some people. On top of that, I'm hiring one more people. See, chef is there in hotel. Chef is preparing food, but who will bring that food and give it to the customer? The waiter, right? So waiter is a callback here. We can understand. Okay, because he is the one who has assigned for you customer, and he is the one who will go to the chef and chef will prepare. And he once the prepared is ready, food is ready, then he will bring to you. There is no use of now counter people because counter people again he will be busy with other customer. So it's like just he will inform to the people like, okay, this order has came, he will assign to one waiter and then he will do everything. Okay, so waiter is treated as here, like we can say a middle person. Okay, so that is callback. Because why callback? And always the callback function will come whenever anything takes time. Okay, whenever anything takes time. If the work which does not takes time, there is no callback. There is no middle person because it doesn't take time means it will go first out first, first in first out it will go. Okay, it will go and it will come out, it will execute. But the thing which takes time will have some person to assign to them so that they can inform us later. So that and we can also proceed some further thing. Like let's suppose you went to a restaurant and you asked food and all. So you will be keep on using your phone, you'll be chit chatting with your friends. Then once food is ready, then automatically it will come. right? So everyone is doing their own job. You are also doing their own job. Counter person also doing their own job. Chef is also preparing their food. So everyone is doing their own job. So to all these things, bridge is there. Okay. So that is called callback function. Uses of callback function, you understood? Okay. It's a one person. So tell me in programming, how we create a person? We create a person as a function, right? Every functions are a person because he has to do some specific task. As I denoted previously, remember, like when I discussed about a manager, employee, one problem I did solved and I told like, yeah, employee is there, so employee has to do and all, remember? So how we create a manager? Function. How we create employee? A function. So same way, callback is a function. Okay, it is attached to a other function. Means waiter is attached to chef. Waiter work is just to serve. Chef work is just to prepare. Got it? What is callback function? Clear? Okay, let's go back to this one. Okay, so callback function. So I can say now, like say callback function is a JavaScript function that is passed as an argument to another function. Now you are able to understand what is callback function because it is a function which can be passed to another function. Okay, why it is passed? Because that person execution is taking time and to display like okay the execution has completed to inform that response basically callback function is attached. So what is written here and is executed after the completion of function because first main function should complete their work then this callback function will close. So if you have two function, so one function is the main function like a chef. So once he will prepare food then only waiter will give you the food, no, then his work will start. Correct, his work will start. Okay, so the things like I've discussed like okay, so callback functions are created for these all reason. Like what reason the callback function will be created? Like let's suppose reading the file might takes time. Why it takes time means first you have to open the file, search in the drive, open the file in which mode, read mode, write mode, then you have to read every content of the file and then after reading the content it's giving you the response. So it takes some time like doing all this process, opening, closing files and all. So that is takes time. So this type of places we need callback function. Okay, one more, network request. Network request means like you are on the client side, front end side, browser side. Okay, and you want some data from the database. So what happens? You will send to the server, server will send to the database, database will give return to server, and server will give return to you. Then you will display on the UI. So it's like a time taking process is there. So that is the reason that time we need callback functions. Okay. Another is interacting database. That is also callback functions. So these are all the places where callback function is required. Got it? Okay. Now see. Now see this example. See function one. Okay. So read properly here. What I told, callback function is in a JavaScript is a function. It's a function which is passed an argument to the another function. What is argument means? Argument means whatever will pass to the function that is called as argument, right? What will pass to the function that is called as argument. So basically, see here, we are creating one function one. So see, whenever we call any function, the name of the variables will be changing, right? Why I'm saying that? Because we have to understand this as well. Before going to callback function, you have to understand like it has to have some different meaning and all. First, you have to understand parameter, argument kind of thing. Then you will understand this more properly. Okay, I'll just open the class. Okay, I think this is the one, right? Okay. So let's suppose I'm creating one function. Let's suppose fun one. Okay, I think I have to do more. It's fine. Are you able to view? Okay. Okay, so I'm creating one fun. Okay. Now see, now I'm just calling to fun one. Okay, fine. So this I'm just creating one variable as data and I'm just passing hello. Right? Hello, I'm passing. Is it okay? Everything fine? Okay. Now this data variable has to go to function one, right? Has to go to function one. So I'll just write here console.log data, right? But data, if I'll write here console.log, it won't understand, right? Because there is no data inside the function one, correct? So this data has to first pass to this function call. So what I'll pass? I'll pass data. So it doesn't mean like if I'm writing here data in the parameter also the same name should be there. It doesn't mean like that, right? Same name should be there. It can be any name. So let's suppose it can be imp1. So instead of data, what I have to write? Imp1 means input1. But inside this function, the name as imp1. But outside this function, the name as data. Because it's a different variable, how they are handling the data, right? In the different variable. So this is the way you will pass. So this is basically argument, right? Let's suppose now, if I'll not do this, I'll just write function ABC. Okay, and I'm doing something like, let's suppose returning hello, right? Let's suppose I've created one function, okay, ABC, and I'm assigning that function value to the variable. Already I think you have heard about expression, function expression, arrow function, right? So this also we can do. Okay, we have to remove this. Okay, so now we have got this data, right? Now this data is what? Data is a function. It's not a variable, right? It's a variable having the function as a value. Normally we'll pass like a string, numbers, but we can pass entire function to the data, right? So if I have to call this function, what I'll do? I'll just write here data, right? To call, correct? If I'll remove this, then what is the use? If I'll remove this and I'll just try to do console.log. What it has to print, tell me, in line number 8. I'm not calling this function, I'm just writing the function name. If I'm writing the function name, this will be the output, it will print. Got it? If you have to call the function, you have to pass by parenthesis, okay, bracket. But if you will not call, that means you are directly assigning complete and then you are assigning to data. That means data is nothing but it's a function. Okay, so if data is a function and you are passing to function 1, that data here will be entire function, right? Entire function. Got it? So this is the way we can pass function to another function. So here, now see, here data is there. It's a function. But here imp is there. Got it? So imp is nothing but it's a function, right? It's a function. Imp is a function now. It's not any variable values or anything, right? It's a function, right? So imp is a function. Now data. So data, we are returning hello. So it will return. So imp here we are completely printing this entire function, right? So this is the way we have to pass the data argument and all. So these things just ignore it. Just for your understanding, I just showed so that you will be getting to know. So now again see here. Here see. Now here function 1 is there, right? Function 1. So it has a data called 23, 45, 56. Okay. Now function 2 is there. Function 2 taking the data, okay, taking the data and then data received as data. It's just printing the data. That's it. Then we are calling function 1. We are calling function 1 and passing function 2. Function 2 is nothing but it's a function. So whenever function 2 I am passing, this callback will is what? It's a function, right? Because callback is nothing but function 2, right? Callback is nothing but function 2. So whenever I'm passing callback, so that what is this? What is this? Tell me. What is this line? This line is nothing but calling that function. If I'm writing only callback, that is a function. If I'm calling the callback with parenthesis and data, that means we are passing the data to that function and we are calling that function. So basically what will happen? This data 23, 45, 56 will go inside the callback. Callback is nothing but function 2. Correct. So function 2 will receive data, that is data here. So it will receive this data and it will print data received as 23, 45, 56. Understood? So this is called a callback function, okay, which is passed to the main function. So main function, and here you are seeing the data is array, direct, right? But later this place only you have to call the API. This data is easily you want to get. You have to call the API, then that API will give you the data, and because the main task of this function 1 is to get the data. But now the directly hard-coded I have given. But instead of this, later you have to call the API from the backend side or from other side, you will get the data. So once the data fetching will be done, then this callback function will execute. If the data is not there and then simply you're calling callback is no meaning, right? Because what you will pass as a data, undefined it will go. Then here also undefined it will print. So till these things won't be done, till that time callback function will not get executed. Got it? Once this is done, then only callback function will execute. Understood? So that is called callback function. Means once the main function task is completed and then they have to send some response. So this callback function, that whatever code is there, no, that is nothing but it's saying like, okay, I have received the data. Basically, so it's basically telling like, okay, function one has completed its task and I have got the data from the function one. So now it will just return the data received and the data. Okay, now it might feels like, yeah, it's a confusion type, but slowly you will get to know like what I'm trying to say. Okay, so let's go for next. Okay, so set timeout. Okay, set timeout is nothing but it's a function. Okay, it's a function. So this is like a kind of like, see, we don't have right now to call to the API and get the data, right? We don't have that mechanism, right? For that, we need to create a backend server. We need to connect to the database. We need to call from the front end, and then it will take some time and it will give you. So basic, our motto is to write something which creates a delay, because instead of this we are trying to say like, okay, we are creating some delay in the sense means we are feeling like, okay, this delay is nothing but it's a taking time for the later server, right? So one function is there called set timeout. This set timeout function, we can take it as a substitution of the API connection or backend server calling or database connection calling as an alternative. Now we are taking, because now we don't have idea of backend server, database and all. So this set timeout function, what it does, it will just create a delay to print anything. Okay, so see here 200 seconds I'm passing. 200 seconds is nothing but, so after 200 seconds execute this function basically. Okay, so basically print this console.log is there, no, it will print after 2 seconds. Okay, it's a millisecond return, 2000 milliseconds. So it's a 2 seconds. So whenever you write this set timeout, so anything you are printing after some delay, that denotes like, delay denotes like, okay, basically you are not getting the immediately, you are trying to make it like some delay, some wait time and all. So it's like we are telling like, okay, this wait time is nothing but it's a connection to the database, connection to the server, and then getting the data from the server and database. So as of now, we have only this set timeout. Later, in place of set timeout, we have to do connection of the database and all those things we have to do. But as of now, we don't have anything related to that knowledge. That's why we are using set timeout. Got it? So the set timeout is nothing but it's a one function which will execute any operations after some delay time. Okay, and only one time it will execute, not like every time it will execute. Okay, so that denotes like basically we are creating some delay amount of time. Means we are telling like, okay, anyway this time is nothing but it's taking for server to process. Okay, and it won't block any execution. Okay, it won't block other things to get printed. Okay, it is running in this other way background. As I told, like, yeah, counter people will be doing other work, their work, you will be doing your work as a customer, and then safe will be doing their work, but nothing will be blocked. Everything will be in normal operation working. Okay, so what is normal operation working? What exactly I'm trying to tell, I'll execute and I'll show you. Okay. Okay, next we'll go for synchronous code and asynchronous code. So many times you will hear like what is asynchronous programming and what is synchronous programming. So synchronous programming is such programming where every statement blocks the further execution. Okay, till that statement won't get executed. Means it will not allow you to move forward. It's like how, complete this, then you can move forward. Complete this, then you can move forward. Complete this, then you can move forward. Either it's taking small time or more time, it doesn't matter. But without completing one step, you can't go to next step. Got it? So that is called synchronous operation. Now see, here process A is there, right? So process A is doing something. So till it's doing something, process B will be waiting here. Right? So what happens? Process A, so it will go to process B. So process B will be taking this much of time. Till this much of time, process A is still waiting. Okay, process A is still waiting. Okay, once the process B will be completing, then again process A will start their work. So that means first process A started, then process B started, then again process A started. Correct. So in between the time, neither process B is able to do anything, neither process A is able to do anything. So it's a waste of time till that time. So that is called synchronous. Okay, synchronous. So in JavaScript code, whenever you write like 1,000 lines of code, like variables, like you are executing, you will see always it will print from top to bottom. And it's not like last will print first and then first will print later, nothing like that. It will print always step by step, line by statement, right? Because those all are synchronous operation. Okay, so synchronous operation will be executed immediately. Understood about synchronous operation? Now let's take example of like I already took example because every batches I will be taking different examples. So I understood about that example. So I showed you that example. But anyway, this example also I'll tell you. Let's see. There is a like person called Amar. Okay, and his house is there. Basically, in brief, I'll tell. I want to. So in his house, what happens? He has some plumbing work is going on in his house. He has to make some plumbing work. So what happens? Amar calls to plumber, that is plumber Ramo. He will tell, okay, you start doing plumber work. You fix some pipes leakage or something will be there in home. So something he's doing. And Amar has to go to office also. Okay, Amar has to go to office also. So here Amar is there, plumbing house is there, plumber Ramu is there, house is there, office he has to go, and mom is there. Okay, so what happens? First scenario in synchronous operation, what happens? Amar will call plumber because some plumbing work is there. So Amar called plumber. Now next, plumber will come to Amar house. Okay, then Amar waits for the plumber comes to Amar house and plumber starts fixing. Like he'll start fixing the things and all. So till that Amar will be waiting. Till that Amar will be waiting. Okay. Now once Amar will be waiting, then what happens? Till the plumber won't fix the things, till that Amar will be waiting. Now Amar waited, then what happens? Once the plumber fix the things, then Amar will go to office. So basically Amar has to wait 20 minutes for seeing like, okay, he is fixing and all. So then he will go to office. So he has wasted his 20-30 minutes without any reason. Okay, without any reason he has wasted. So next, this is called synchronous, means everything is blocked by step by step, everything is done step by step. Now next time what he will do? Next time he will do asynchronous operation. So how asynchronous operation will solve this problem? Okay, so basically asynchronous operation is nothing but, let's suppose you are doing some task, but suddenly you will feel like, okay, this task is taking time. Right, in office only you will go and you'll think like, okay, some task I can do, but sometimes if the dependency is from someone or some task is taking time. So what I'll do, I'll tell, okay, you guy, I'll assign to some other people. Okay, you keep on doing because I have some important things to do. Once you complete it, you bring it to me. Till that I'll do some other work also. Right. So that is called asynchronous operation. So asynchronous operation, what happens? Let's suppose client is working, making request. Server will be keep on doing something, like process B is keep on doing something. It's taking that request. But till that time, client will not wait here. Client will be doing its own work. So what happened? Once the server will be completed its work, then there will be the middle person attached to it, like callback I can say. So that person will give you the response. Okay, server has completed, because someone has to tell you, like whether it got succeed or whether it got not got succeed. So those all things people has to tell. So some people will be there attached to the server. So that people will be giving you response like, okay, the work which you have given to this person, it has completed successfully or it has completed with error or he didn't able to fix the things. Okay, so that is the reason. Till that time client will be busy in some other work. Right. So here, this situation, what happens? None of the things are got blocked. This person is not waiting so that this all operation will get complete and then he will go. Correct. So this is called as asynchronous operations. Okay. So in same manner, Ramu now again we'll take example. So this time what will happen? Amar will call to plumber. Plumber will come to home. Amar will tell to mom now. He will inform mom, I'm going to office. I call this person and he's fixing. Once he will fix, you tell me. Till that I'll reach office. Okay. So what happens now? Plumber will come and he will fix that issue. And then after the fixing issue, what happens? Now, once he will fix the issue, then Amar will go to office immediately at the same time. Now Amar is at office. Now later what happens? Mom will after the plumber will fix or the plumber didn't fix. Both scenario I'm talking about. Here I'm talking about the wrong scenario. Here I'm talking about the right scenario. Anything like once plumber is going from the house, mom will inform to Amar like, okay, Amar, plumber has fixed the things or plumber has not able to fix the things. But till this time, Amar went to office and he's still doing some work. He's not blocked, right? So every time got saved for the Amar, right? So here mom act as a callback function. Plumber act as a server kind of thing, like the person who takes time to complete their work. Okay, and Amar is a client side who is requesting like, okay, do something and all. Okay, so this is called asynchronous operation. Got it? So see, now this task, synchronous. Task 1, task 2, task 3. So if you call first, it will run always first, then it will run second, then it will run third. It's not like task 2 will run first or task 3 will run first, nothing like that, right? First time only task 1 will run, then task 2 will run, then only task 3 will run. Till it won't get complete. If I'll create here delay also, let's suppose I'll run some for loops and all. For loops of 1000, 10,000. Let's suppose I'm running and I equal to 0, I less than 1000, 1 lakh, then I plus plus. And then I'm doing some control printing and all. Till that it has to wait. Task 3 has to wait. Okay? Till that task 3 has to wait because task 2 is still doing some work. There is no any asynchronous, there is synchronous. So this is called as synchronous operations. Okay? Because one thing will get complete, then only other thing will start. Okay? Next is asynchronous. Now asynchronous, see. Okay, see this. Asynchronous task 1 is there. Okay. Now see, task 2 is taking some two seconds time to complete its execution. And set timeout is nothing but it's a asynchronous operation. Okay. So what will happen? Task 1 we are calling. So task 1 is okay, printed. Task 1 printed. Okay. Now task 2. Task 2 is running in the background. It needs 2 seconds. Right. So till it's run in the background, what happens? This next line will get executed. So next line is synchronous code. So what will happen? First task 1, task 3, and then after 2 seconds it will print task 2 completes. Means we prove like this is working in the background. And in this set timeout, this is the function. This is this function you are seeing. No, one arrow function is attached to it. So this is the function is called as callback. So after 2 seconds only this callback function will get executed and it will tell like, okay, the task has been completed. That's why it written console.log task has been completed. Got it? So this is asynchronous handling of the operation. Understood? Got it? Now I think, yeah. So see, last thing I'll just tell you. Okay, displaying data once fetched from the server using callback. Now what you are doing? Now previously directly data used to get, right? But now what I'm doing, I'm telling, okay, okay, so I'm just fetch data. One server is there. We have to fetch the data. So I'm just telling console.log fetch data, right? We are calling fetch data also here. So it will print fetching data, right? Now, after some time, because in this time, maybe we are trying to connect to the database or we are getting the data from the database. So maybe it will take some time. So it takes 3 seconds, let's suppose. So what happens? Fetch data, display data will happen when we will complete the execution. This data will come from the database. Then the callback function will execute. Callback function is nothing but it's a display data because we are passing display data as a callback. Right. So this callback function is display data. So data is nothing but it's a name age. So both will be provided in the callback, and then this display data will be go as a callback with this data. But after 3 seconds. After 3 seconds. Then after 3 seconds, what happens? It will display data received. Okay. So till that time, if any other these things are there here, console.log or any variable defined or any other functions calls, so everything will be executing. Till 3 seconds, whatever work has to be done, every work will be done. After 3 seconds only we'll get the response. So now I'm doing set timeout, but later what will happen? This entire code will be replaced with server code. Okay, this entire place will be replaced with server code, and there also this callback function will be attached to get the data. Now it's quite looks like, yeah, it's a very like different of type, but once you will keep on using it, no, 1-2 time you will see the real example and all, then you will not feel any difficulties after that. You'll feel like, oh, this is like looking very tough previously, but it's very simple. Okay, there is some function attached to one function, and that function is giving the response for the respective function completion or the any error kind of thing. Okay, it's just like an information we are sending by the help of other person, not by the same person. If I'll give response from the same person, that means become the synchronous. But if I'm taking help from the other person, that becomes the middleware, callback, or that becomes the asynchronous kind of a person. Okay, so this is example of callback function. So next classes, I'll give you some more examples and I'll execute so many things. I'll make you prove like, yeah, this is the way we execute and all. Okay, fine. Now after this class, next class again, I'll teach you about higher order function, because all higher order function, find, filter and all, everywhere you will see the callback function. That is the reason I was not teaching the higher order function before this. Okay, so you people also have responsibility, like, yeah, you go, how much I taught you, this is okay, but you go to JavaScript, already I said you some of the things. Now you go there and try to understand now callback. You will give better understanding of callback. Okay, fine. Okay, thank you.